Hey, this is Zarin and
Hey, it's Fariso. What's up?
what is up? We've been gone for just a second. Life is life and we have a baby and
We've been gone. Did we miss one?
yeah, we did miss a week. We're
Oh,
supposed to be there last week. I'm sorry if you missed us.
oh, sorry.
Yeah, if you
Not
didn't,
sorry. We're here
um,
now.
if you didn't, that's fine, cause we're here anyways. We're not leaving y'all yet. But yeah, welcome to Sunday School Rewind, where we tell the Bible stories, like Sunday school from an adult lens. Um, and we have a good one today.
What are we reading?
We are going to read about. I forgot their names already.
Shadrach, Meshach, and that bad Negro. Just kidding. That's not his name. Abednego.
Abednego, exactly.
But he was a bad Negro.
They were bad. Bad but good. Definitely stuck to their word and to their true self. Something that we don't do that much these days. And so good people to learn from.
For sure.
So instead of us talking so much, let's just jump into it. Okay. Like always, y'all, we read from the Children's Bible. 365 Bible stories and prayers. And we're going to talk a little bit about the golden statue that you'll read about Nebuchadnezzar, but we're going to go straight into the fiery furnace. All right. I hope your thermostats are up, because it's about to get hot.
I'm sweating.
Whoa.
Bullets.
Okay. All right. Here it goes. We're in Daniel 3, y'all. Mostly Daniel 3:8 and on, but Daniel 3. All right.
This is from the kids' book, kids' Bible.
Nebuchadnezzar was so impressed with Daniel that he gave him an important job in his court. Daniel made sure that his friends Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego got jobs too. They were sent to work for the king in Babylon. My empire is greater than all the others, boasted Nebuchadnezzar. He decided to build a huge golden statue of himself in Babylon to remind everyone of the fact. When the statue was finished, he ordered all the people to bow down and worship it. Everyone from the most important ruler to the most humble peasant obeyed. Everyone that is except for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. We won't bow down to a statue, they declared. We worship only God. When the king heard of this, he flew into rage. He sent for the three men, I will have you thrown in a fiery furnace, he threatened. God will protect us, replied the men calmly. So Nebuchadnezzar ordered them to be thrown into the furnace. The fire was so fierce that even the guards who threw them in there were badly burned by the leaping flames. No, they actually died. But finally, the fiery furnace died down a little. Are they dead yet? Asked the king. What a surprise greeted his eyes. Instead of being burnt to death, the three friends were alive and walking around the flames. Not only that, instead of the three, Nebuchadnezzar saw 4 people in the fire. The 4th person looked like an angel of God. Amazed, Nebuchadnezzar called to the men to climb out of the furnace. When they examined, not a hair on their head was harmed. Your God is indeed great and powerful, he told them. Then he turned to his officials. No one in my empire must ever speak out against their God again, he ordered. No other God could do such an incredible thing. Dun, dun, dun.
Scene.
All right. So yeah, these guys were they were the bad ones. They was the
bad good ones.
The bad good ones. I just think it's funny. Well, first of all, a couple things over here I can already say was false.
Is that Bible line? The kids, they lied to us as kids.
Yeah.
They all lied to us as kids. Why they do that?
The fire was so fierce that even the guards were through them were badly burned.
No,
they died.
They were killed.
It specifically says that. I think it's also funny how it says what reason.
Well, you know what? I guess that's not a lie. They said they were badly burned, which is true. Lie by
badly
omission.
Burnt to crisp.
Yeah, they just didn't add extra layer.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's funny. And then the funny, you look in these pictures, everything looks so cute. Like the statue looks very cute. The fire behind them looks very cute.
Yeah.
But we find out I heard they turned that fire to like 600,
Yeah.
like an oven.
Worse than an
Yeah,
oven.
worse oven. True.
Yeah.
Yes. Like yeah. So yeah. I think it's a story that I remember reading. Once again, I don't qualify. Like I never think about death or anything. I just thought of these guys that were like the cool kids.
They were putting the kitchen in the oven.
Yeah, and pretty much they just came out of it because they believed in God.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the king was astonished.
Mm-hmm.
So I just remember that being a story that was like very just like, well, I don't want to get burned. So maybe I should read the Bible and believe in God. I did touch the oven one time. I did touch the stove one time. That hurt. So I don't want to get burned. Yeah.
Shoot, I hope Zendaya is as obedient as you were as a kid.
I mean, I still touched the stove. It's like I still did the wrong thing. I did many wrong things back in the day. But it was just funny how
You
like
just read it and you're like, okay, I don't want that to be me.
I don't want that to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I was like that as a kid.
Yeah. Well,
I'm a tester.
Well, we're gonna get you like that today. So yeah, do you want to give a little bit of backstory of what's going on about these
Sure, yeah.
these
So
cats?
we're about to jump into the adult Bible. That sounds funny.
What, adult Bible? The actual Bible?
The adult Bible.
We're gonna jump into the above 21 Bible. 20 where you need your license to read it.
There goes Zendaya. She's calling you.
I'll give it a second.
Okay, so we are in Daniel 3, a little bit background. We have what are these guys' names? Help me. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Yes.
They are
some hard names.
They are really good friends of Daniel. We're in the book of Daniel. Daniel's not mentioned in this story, but he is the main player throughout the whole book. But anyways, they were actually captives who were taken from Judah. And so now they're in this new land led by Nebuchadnezzar, and they are still very much committed to their faith. They're very much committed to God. They were, offered to eat the best food possible by the king, but they still just said, we are not going to eat outside of our religion. We're just going to eat vegetables. And so they're still very much men of God, even though technically they're captives, but because they are wise men, and God has really protected them. Although they're captives, they are in an elevated status where,
like they're appointed like.
They're like
positions.
So here's what it is. He's the head guy of the wise men, you could say, and then Daniel got Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to be also in high positions.
Like, yo, friends, he took his best friends with him.
Yeah, he took his best friends, his homies, his men of God from Judah. But the reason why they were given this position is because Daniel has the ability to interpret dreams. So King Nebuchadnezzar was having these dreams, and they were tormenting them, and no one could explain. He brought all the wise men and was like, "Tell me what is going on with these dreams. Tell me the dream," and no one could tell him except for Daniel. King Nebuchadnezzar actually put a hit out on all of the wise men because he was so upset. This king is he's savage because no one could tell him the dream. He said, "I'm gonna kill everyone." And then Daniel went to God and was like, "God, help me figure this out." And so that's how Daniel was able to rise to this position and make himself valuable. And now that's a little bit about background on them, but now it's all about Shadrach, Meshach, and that bad Negro.
Thank you for that story. Appreciate it. We're gonna talk a lot about Daniel coming up, but so pretty much what's happening at this very point is that Daniel came, interpreted a dream of Nebuchadnezzar that Friso said that no one could interpret, and part of it was the first part of that dream was the king saw a statue, and part of that statue, it says here on Daniel, is this 2 verse 32? The head of this image was of fine gold, its chest and arms of silver, its middle and thighs of bronze, its legs of iron, its feet partly of iron and partly of clay. And so when we first see this image, he interprets this head of gold being Nebuchadnezzar's rule. Um, and so as any like nefarious king that is so indulgent in himself, I think he saw gold and was like, I'm the head, and was like, I want to make a statue then.
Mm-hmm.
It's like pretty much his whole dream is like talking about like not through his time frame, but the next, like over time, the legacy of like all these kingdoms was gonna fall.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I feel like he saw during his rule that like, oh, he saw him as gold,
Yeah.
and so he was like, you know what? In verse 3, I'm just gonna make me a whole gold image of myself,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna have everyone worship it.
That's kind of crazy to me, though.
Yeah, it's very crazy. It's just like you just like missed the whole concept.
Right. Because if I were to get this revelation and it had something to do with like a gold statue, I'm going to try to stay as far away possible from that gold statue. So the fact that he got that dream and he just took it as, oh, wait, no, I'm gold. I'm the golden
Yeah,
boy, and built a statue and like doubled down. That's
yeah.
weird.
Well, I think it's like the whole concept of like people don't see the effects of their actions. Like they see, like your brother, you're your brother's keeper type thing. So it's like whatever he did was gonna be the next. Like it's the next legacy was going to carry this next torch. And as he saw the torch being carried, it was going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. And so he just didn't see his domino effect that he was going to cause.
We got
Um,
to get into it. That's enough background, I
yeah.
think.
And so right now, pretty much Nebuchadnezzar says that he wants everyone to bow down to this statue.
Right.
Um,
He's
and
made a decree in all the land. Everyone must bow down and worship the golden statue.
yes, and if you didn't, you're going to be burning in the fiery furnace.
Ooh,
And
that's
so
harsh.
So anytime a sound of the horn, the pipe, the lyre, the trigon, the harp, the bagpipe, like that,
Drop to your knees.
drop to your knees and. But it's funny, this is a lot of different instruments playing. What's a trigon? I don't even know what that is. A bagpipe? We got some. That's crazy. That's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And everyone in the nations, I don't care what language they spoke, I don't care what they look like. You better worship this golden image of King Nebuchadnezzar that he put up. Um, and so now we're in verse 8.
Yeah, that's where we're really starting to read.
Yeah. So verse 3. Sorry, chapter
Daniel
3.
3, verse
Yeah,
8.
verse 8. Sorry. So it says here, therefore, at the time of the certain Chaldeans came forward and meticulously accused the Jews. They declared to King Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. O king, have made a decree that every man who hears the sound of horn, pipe, lyre, trigon, harp, bagpipe, and every kind of music shall fall down and worship the golden image. And whoever does not fall down and worship shall be cast to the burning fiery furnace. There are certain Jews whom have appointed over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, pay no attention to you. They do not serve your gods or worship the golden image that you have set up.
Okay, pause.
What are they telling?
Yeah. So
leave me alone.
But who's telling? So these are they're called astrologers. So these are in the group
These people that can't tell the dreams.
Yeah, yeah. So these are the
salty.
ones they're considered wise men. They weren't able to tell the dreams.
They're salty.
So yeah, they're salty. They're jealous, and so they went and they told on. They call them the Jews, and that's Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And so they tell the king, "Hey, they not bowing to your statue." Clearly, they're jealous. Clearly, they're haters. Clearly, they're upset that they most likely have positions that they want. And they have skills and talent and gifts that they don't have because guess what? They serve God and these astrologers don't. So,
makes you feel like who's in your company, like just in general, in your own community,
right.
like who do you have around you? Because these are the people that are opposed to like all serve for the king, um, and kind of have like mindedness. And if anything, it's just like if we're all part of the same court, you would hope that they would talk to me first
Mm-hmm.
versus like see what I want, see how I'm doing versus like they're obviously telling on them,
Yeah.
like we want you to go down, and so just think about your own company. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like who is around you, because certain people do not want to see you succeed.
Yeah, you would think like we're all on a team, we all have the same goal. If I see you doing something I don't think if it's right,
I'll
I'm
talk
gonna
to you
go to
about it
you
first.
first and, try to understand each other. But no, they were jealous and they were
Jealous.
most likely bitter and they wanted them out. And unfortunately, I think that that is the case more often than like, oh, we're working as a team.
Yeah.
You see it at work, you see it in families. Like, instead of, hey, your success is my success, people will become jealous.
Yeah. Yeah. Just crazy.
Yeah.
So I was reading from ESV. I'm gonna go to NLT because it's just easier to read. So we're in verse 13.
Hey, my Bible is NLT, so can I read?
Go for it, girl. Read, read, read.
Okay. Verse 13. Then Nebuchadnezzar. Wait, hold on. Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay. So they were just told that they weren't worshiping the golden statue. Verse 13. Then Nebuchadnezzar flew into a rage and ordered that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego be brought before him. When they were brought in, Nebuchadnezzar said to them, is it true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you refuse to serve my gods or to worship the gold statue that I have set up? I will give you one more chance to bow down and worship the statue I have made when you hear the sound of the musical instruments. But if you refuse, you will be thrown immediately into the blazing furnace. And then what God will be able to rescue from my power?
Oh, you got testy.
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied, Oh, Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God whom we serve is able to save us. He will rescue us from your power, your majesty.
Your Majesty.
But even if he doesn't, we want to make it clear to you, your majesty, that we will never serve your gods or worship the gold statue you have set up. Dang!
That was a mic drop, huh?
Isn't that crazy? They're talking to the king.
I want to know who said it though. Like
They're talking to the king.
which one of them said
that bad Negro.
that bad Negro? It said that they all replied, but someone said that. Was it Shadrach, Meshach, or the Bendigo that came out and
But
was like,
the your majesty, like,
"Oh yeah, exactly."
they
Try to be
weren't
polite,
having
but
it.
like,
And then
like tell the
just
truth.
the own Nebuchadnezzar.
Exactly. That's wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, talk once again. The confidence of David.
Yeah.
You uncircumcised Philistine. Like this. Like what? Like what kind of?
Like,
Like someone's gonna tell me they're gonna put me in a burning fire
yeah.
if I don't. I might get on one knee. I don't know.
Yeah.
like I might at least put like I might get like halfway down. Like I might not put both knees down,
Exactly.
but I'm at least like make. I don't know. I have to think about it.
Yeah.
I don't want.
I want to know,
That's
like,
crazy.
what was the conversation among the three of them?
Did they
Because
talk about
clearly,
this?
yeah, did they, like, how were you able to get, how were they all on the same accord? Like, you mentioned, like, the company you keep, who's around you. The truth is that birds of a feather flock together, that very corny saying, but it's true. Like, you're impacted by the company that you keep. So they were all really strong men in their faith, and they were just able to be on one accord. And
Yeah.
they were,
Once
that's
again,
crazy.
that's the kind of people that you need around you.
Right.
And so you think back to what I said earlier. Who's the company that you're around? Are y'all fighting together for the same cause? The buddies, your best friends, or the people that you say are your strong community. Like, do y'all have that strong of a bond where it's like we'll go down together because we have the same faith? Or is everyone kind of like doing their own thing? And yeah, that's crazy.
I'm trying to think of like a real world example. So, this reminds me, I think it was Columbine, like one of the first mass shootings ever, like, I don't know, 20 years ago. And The story was there's, conflicting if this was true but not. But the story was the shooter held a gun to one of the students' head and said, "Do you believe in God?"
Mm.
And she said yes. And so that's why she got killed. And so that's like the one of the a modern day example I can think about this. Y'all, I'm eating grapes, so if you hear me chewing, I apologize, but
Girl gotta
mama
eat.
mama gotta eat.
Mama gotta eat.
But yeah, so I wanna know,
Yeah, like
how would you respond? Like, do you think if someone came up to you with a gun and asked you, "Do you believe in God?" Would you say yes, or yes, knowing that you would die if you said yes, or would you say no, knowing that like God's just gonna forgive you later?
I
Kind
don't
of
know.
like, who was it? Peter who denied Jesus 3 times.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's like what's going through my mind at that time.
Hmm.
Specifically, it's like now they got a family. It's like that's a lot to just risk
Exactly.
on on two words,
Right.
or one word, yes or no.
Hmm.
And so I don't know, but it's like should I? Obviously, yes.
You should say yes.
I mean, I think by faith, if we believe in God, there, that gun could not go off. If we stay strong. Um, Someone can come in and take out the person last minute.
Hmm.
If we stay strong, we don't know
Right.
the next decision that God's gonna make for us.
Hmm.
And so it doesn't always lead to death.
Hmm.
But that's strong faith.
Right.
Um, but what I liked about this story is, like you said, where it's like we have three guys strongly, no one's quivering, no one's like second guessing,
Hmm.
like
Right.
how they were at the beginning when Daniel appointed them, is how they are now.
Yeah.
And it's just like how are we doing that in our own society right
Right.
now? Like I feel like we quiver a lot, just in general,
Easily.
just based on culture.
Easily. Yeah.
It's just like if that's not going down a direction, that's good for me or my family,
Hmm.
I might have to just put in the towel, just for this moment,
Hmm.
and then talk to God later.
Exactly.
But is that how we should be doing it? No.
Right.
And so that's
Hmm.
just like a hard, just the reality
What
of
are
how
some? Oh, sorry.
what's some like real world.
Yeah, like what are other examples? I think like the threat of death might be it's like extreme. Like that's probably will never happen. But I don't know. I just think of like maybe like getting
Just think it.
presented with like
Just think about your
opportunities,
yeah. Think about
and
your work. You're
yeah,
doing something at your work and it goes against
exactly.
what your
Hmm.
principles are you gonna tell them no? Like if you're working on a project
Right.
that's like not what you stand for, you
Hmm.
don't believe in it, it go against your morality,
Hmm.
and if you don't do it, you risk the possibility of being fired,
Hmm.
and if you do it, you risk the possibility of being fired from heaven. It's
Hmm.
like you might be punished in your spirit, and so those are the choices we have to make. And that's why I kind of like I'm really a big proponent of starting off the way you want to be seen.
Hmm.
And so like if you
Right.
go into any job or you go into any like circle, it's like you
Absolutely.
start off like this is me, who I am, and people can start off thinking as you like, oh, you're that weird guy. I'll tell
Exactly.
you about that weird person that was at
Oh,
my job,
you're
right?
yeah.
Yeah, that was like so. Talk about the
He's
most
crazy.
Bible person.
Hmm.
Even got me stripped. Like going around talk to everyone about the Bible. Was so like indulged in it. Like in every
Darren was so
second.
happy about this guy at first. He was like, "Oh my god, they do Bible study at my job."
Yeah.
And then as the time went on, he's like, "This guy will not leave me alone. He keeps trying to preach to me
I was
about
like,
Jesus. Like, how can he do this at work?"
yo,
Like
like,
he was an evangelist though.
it's 3:58. I gotta go
Right.
home
I
to
got
my kids. I gotta go.
that was
But no,
funny.
but once again, he stood for who he
Exactly.
is,
Uh-huh.
and people thought he was weird. And some people liked him, some people didn't. But it's like his spirit's not getting like challenge. Because
Yeah.
he knows who
He's
he.
like, "This is who I am."
Yeah, so it's like I like that about them three.
Oh,
Um,
sorry. Are you
go for
good?
it. No, I'm good.
Another example just came to mind. You know Devon Franklin? He's like a Hollywood producer. He used to be married to Megan Good. Now he's
Mm-hmm.
has a new wife.
Got a
But
movie out.
yo, we just watched his movie Ruth and Boaz.
Yeah, we'll
So
talk
he's
about
like
it.
man, which don't say don't. Don't y'all let's go. Oh my god. I'm trying to let's move on to my point, please.
Just go watch it.
Okay, so anyway, but Devon Franklin, I remember like 10 years ago I read his book Produced by Faith, and he is, I think, Seventh-day Adventist. And Seventh-day Adventists, they really honor the Sabbath, so they don't do anything. They don't work on Saturday. And like in Hollywood, like you don't work on Saturday. What do you mean? You're expected to work 16-hour days, 18-hour days, whatever, whatever. So he just talked about how like when it was sundown at Friday, he would shut production down. And even before he was in his position, he stayed committed to that. Like I'm like it's sundown on Friday, I gotta go. And there's just like that's just unheard of because that costs production so much money to be like, I gotta go. But he stayed committed to that. And now look at him. He's like opening up new doors, doing things as far as like his faith-based film work that people would have never thought were even possible.
So that's the other thing. Because like that, what you're talking about is like, it might never look good now.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to be helpful now sometimes. Like, what you're doing right now is staying faithful, staying, in the trenches of who you are. It might not be good now.
And you might lose opportunities on the way.
But it's like, we don't know what door that's opening up later on.
So-called opportunities.
And so, I mean, I got to, stay in that. So, like, that's something that I want for my life, as well as y'all, as listeners. But I know it's a big faith. I think it's like a lot about faith. Cool. All right.
Let's go to the guys.
Let's go back to these furnace people. So we're on 19 now. Nebuchadnezzar was so furious with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
He got anger issues.
Exactly. Like, bro,
it's
just a Bowie. Like, relax. Go. Yeah. Everyone in the land is gonna do it, but not these three.
Yeah.
But that his face became distorted with rage.
I wish this was like.
I want to see the image of this.
I know. So I wish this was like visual.
Can you show me what this looks like? He commanded that.
But we all know people whose face have been distorted with rage. Yeah. Like, oh god.
Aaron. He commanded that the furnace be heated 7 times hotter than usual.
Oh.
Like, sir.
Turn up that furnace.
Sir.
They're gonna die.
Sir.
Today. Sir. They won't worship my golden statue.
7 times harder than usual.
How ridiculous does that sound?
The one time was good enough. Like,
yeah, exactly.
The same result was going to happen.
But how silly is it? It's a golden statue.
It's ridiculous.
I guess they took it serious. I don't know.
Then he orders some of the strongest men in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and throw them into the blazing furnace.
Okay, so they're tied up.
So they tied them up, threw them in the furnace, fully dressed in their pants, turbans, robes, and their garments. Because the king, in his anger, had demanded such a hot fire, the flames killed the soldier. They threw them. I'm sorry.
Oh my god! Let me finish that. You can't even finish it. And because the king, in his anger, had demanded such a hot fire, the flames killed the soldiers as they threw the 3 men in. I don't know why this guy's laughing at the soldiers and the innocent soldiers dying. Saying, like, why is this guy laughing?
I'm not committing to that role.
Like, what are you doing?
Like, I'm not volunteering as tribute for this role. Sorry, can you turn it down first and then turn it back up once I'm done? I'm gonna kill myself.
You gotta do what he said.
That's wild. Nah,
allegedly.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, securely tied, fell into the roaring flames. But suddenly Nebuchadnezzar jumped up in amazement and exclaimed to his advisors, "Didn't we tie up 3 men and throw them to the furnace?" "Yes, your majesty, we certainly did," they replied. "Look!" Nebuchadnezzar shouted, "I see 4 men unbound, walking around the fire, unharmed, and the 4th looks like a god." They decapitalized the G on God.
I know, in NLT. I don't know why they do that. I don't like that.
But it shows, I think it's because Nebuchadnezzar doesn't see.
No, they do that throughout this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then Nebuchadnezzar came as close as he could to the door of the flaming furnace and shouted, "Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, servants of the Most High God, come out, come here!"
Oh, now he sees their word.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego stepped out of the fire. And the high officers, officials, governors, advisors crowded around them and saw that the fire had not touched them. Now the hair on their head was singed, and their clothing was not singed. And their clothing was not scorched. They didn't even smell of smoke.
Woo!
Nebuchadnezzar said, "Praise to the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He sent his angel to rescue his servants who trust in him. They defied the king's command, and we are willing to die rather than serve or worship any god except their own God. See, they capitalized there. So I'm saying, I think it feels
Mm.
like
I see what
he
you
doesn't
mean.
see them as the God,
Uh-huh.
just a God,
Okay.
but their own God, which is God,
Mm-hmm.
capital G. Therefore, I make this decree: if any people, whatever their race or nation or language, speak a word against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they will be torn limb from limb, and their houses will be
Here
turned
you
into
go.
heaps of rubble.
Here you go.
Like, that's not helpful, bro. Like, did you learn anything? There is no other God
Torn
who
limb
can
from
rescue
limb.
like this.
That's his favorite
Then the
line.
king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to even higher positions in the province of Babylon. The end.
The end. Woo, child. Okay,
Um,
so my favorite part of this is not a hair on their heads was singed, and their clothing was not scorched. They didn't even smell like smoke. So these
yeah,
guys were in
you smell like
seven
smoke
times.
when you barbecue,
Right.
like a grill outside.
Listen, not when you
Not
have
when you're in the fire.
not when you have God, Jesus, the angel, the fourth man that was sent in there to protect them.
Yeah.
So it's like when God protects us, he like protects us.
Oh
Like when
yeah.
people say, "Thank God I don't look like I don't look like what I've been through." Like that's what this is. Like he preserved every part of them. Like like you think about maybe people who like were like homeless for a long time, but they still like are able to emerge out of that situation. They have their sanity. They still like are able to just like look good. Like you would be like surprised that these people would ever experience that. I guess
Yeah.
that comes to mind because we live in LA and I've seen a lot of people who have told me their stories and I'm like, what? So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely did not look like what they've been through. So,
Or smell
or
like it.
smell
Not
like
even a
it.
hint of smoke.
Um, but I just think it's also just funny how it's like Nebuchadnezzar didn't learn nothing. To be honest with you, that's what it feels
Yeah,
like.
I know.
It's just like, oh my god, oh, they're still there. There's another man in there. Oh my god, they must be powerful people.
Yeah.
Whoever their god is, I'm not worshiping it, but they must be good.
Yeah.
like you didn't learn nothing.
And I
Like
think it's sometimes it's like
it's
people
a
who were oh
no. I'm just go.
people who are power hungry, they kind of like are
Just pass the
impressed once
message.
you well they like they want someone to challenge you. So I think it's almost like he was almost impressed not only by their god but that he was angry that they challenged him, but it's like a bully. Like you have to like meet a bully, look them in their eye and like confront them. So I think like people on an ego trip, that's what they need. Um and then also just rewind to the soldiers. I want to talk about that a little bit. You're laughing at the soldiers. I want to just talk
Just
about.
say
I want to
names.
talk
They
about
deserve at least have a name.
these soldiers who died doing their job. Right. So I think people will say like, "Oh, like they're just doing their job, like they're innocent." And it's like, no, like you said, you're not signing up for this job. So I think about it in like the world lens of like police brutality or like doing things like that, where people are like, oh, but like they're just doing their job. They were innocent. And it's like, no, this is like
Ice.
America. You don't ice, right? You don't have to do that job. Like you can actually quit your job. Like there's options. You can say no. So like, do I have compassion for the soldiers who were killed doing that? I mean, sure, I'll always have compassion, but I don't make the excuse of like they were just doing their job. No, you don't have to do that job.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you do have to be
Because
willing to.
this is like a job that's obviously stupid. Like not stupid, but like it's obviously going to kill you. Like the job that was given to them, obviously. But I mean, if they quit, they're probably gonna get killed anyways.
Exactly.
So like either way, but like it's like you're going to something that you obviously are going to be harmed.
Right.
Like no matter what, you signed up for it, and you're obviously gonna get harmed. So it's like sometimes we're walking into these positions, and we know from a matter of fact, this is going to harm me. Like this is gonna harm me. If they have family, that's gonna harm them. Because they're not gonna have like a father, or I have a husband. And so like I feel like we're in this position a lot sometimes, where it's just like we know from like we only need a spiritual lens sometimes to see that. It's just like you look at it and you're just like, that is not good for me.
Mm-hmm.
you know and unlike them, they just walked into it. And so it's like I wonder sometimes how can we better subject ourselves in these scenarios to make decisions that are not only um, based in like who we are, like truly who we are as a person. Like how can we make decisions in scenarios that are going to be our downfall, and back away from it in a way where we're okay with looking like the odd man out. You know,
Yeah.
like are we willing to do that? You know, and if we are willing to do that, what does that look like for each individual person?
Hmm.
'Cause I think that might look different for some people. Um, I don't know. Like, do you have any thoughts about that?
I think you have to be willing to do that. Anytime when feel like you find yourself just going with the crowd or all that stuff, to me that's like we're supposed to be the light and the salt, and we're supposed to be the ones who stand out. So I think we have to really be used to being like, I know in my life I'm always like the person who's just like maybe like known as the troublemaker, but I'm like actually, trying to create what I feel is positive change in the environments that I'm in. So I think like as people of God, we are not supposed to like we're supposed to be that Devon Franklin being like the sun is going down, I'm leaving, and you can think I'm weird, but oh well. And we just have to be able to do that rooted in our confidence
Yeah.
in who we are from God and doing what we believe, hopefully know that God has called us to do in every situation. But anytime we find ourselves blending in, I don't think that that's a good thing. Even sometimes at church, I don't think necessarily at church we need to be like blending in all the time too. Like, what
Mm-hmm.
is your special, unique gift where you're supposed to
True.
shine? You should be shining, whatever that is.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's real true. I don't think there should be any point where like, I look like the next person to me.
Right.
Like, you can't tell us apart. To me, that's not. I mean, that's why honestly, I feel like I always have this weird lens of even like when it comes to work or when it comes to like things I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just feels very outside the box, and that does put me in a place sometimes where it's like I start questioning myself.
Right.
And so I am in that phase, where it's like, oh, like I question myself a lot because it's not
Mm-hmm.
the same.
Right.
And so that comfortability has to be, you have to be comfortable in discomfort. And so that's something
Exactly.
that I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I have, like, I think I want us to do, like, I have a quest for everyone out there is like, the comfortability of being a Christian and being like, who you are. Like I would like for all of us just for a week or something, like do something that's like very consistently like, you know, part of your belief, your Christian belief, who you are as a person, and just do it around people just for
Mm-hmm.
like one week. Like I'm thinking like, like post something on your Facebook, on your like on
Mm-hmm.
your post once a day or every other day, if it's like Christian based or what do you
Yeah.
feel about God, and just
Mm-hmm.
do it like every day. And I just
Mm-hmm.
want to see like does your engagement, is it different than when you
Mm-hmm.
post about something else that's like about basketball or
Yeah.
football or about Love Is Blind. It's
Mm-hmm.
like look at the difference in that and then like start questioning that idea.
Yeah.
Like start looking like look at it and be like, okay, they like this when I say this, but they don't like they
Mm-hmm.
like when I put a booty picture on
Right.
my
Mm-hmm.
page, but they don't like it when I'm like in the church, evangelizing the people,
Yeah.
or on the streets evangelizing people,
Mm-hmm.
and not don't just put it on Sunday. Put it on a Wednesday.
Exactly.
Put it
Yeah.
on a Thursday. Put it on
Yeah.
a Friday. Put it on a random day of the week. That's not
Mm-hmm.
like the day that you need to be holy. On
Yeah.
Sunday.
That's a good challenge.
You
Like
know,
the man at your job. Like
yeah. And,
just
and to show people that if you
mm-hmm.
are, this is what you want to be. As a thing. Don't be
Like
truthful to yourself.
yeah, like don't just make something up.
Yeah.
Like that was just an example. But
Yeah.
like, and I would say like ask God what is something that you can do
Yeah.
to like, be who you are, who we are called to be
Yeah.
in whatever environment you're in. It could be like sending a family member a Bible verse and they'll be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
You know.
But don't just do it once. Do it twice.
Yeah, do it
Do it
do
three
it do
times.
it every day
Do
for
it
a
for
week and
yeah.
see.
I really want to see what that looks like for everyone, and then start thinking about what that looks like. You want that to look like in your life going forward.
Mhm.
All right, y'all.
Oh, the baby's crying.
Our Meshach Abednego Shadrach is calling us right now. Um, She sounded like she in a burning furnace in her room looking for some help.
She just woke up.
She just woke up. But we're gonna say a quick prayer and then we'll get out of here. But thank you for coming with us today. I hope you enjoyed the story. We'll come back next time with an even better one with Daniel. But thank you for coming in today. So bow your heads. Thank you, God, for today for this message with Meshach, Abednego, and I said all wrong, Shadrach. And thank you for showing what it means to stick together as a family, as a unit in the body of Christ, and to love on one each other, but stay truthful to who we are as Christians and believing in God. God, allow us to go through our day, through our year, being a believer for you. Being someone that we understand your word, but just be wrapped in your word and in your protection. Because once we know that we can be faithful to you, you will provide us the things that we need in our life, and you will keep us safe in our own burning fire, burning furnace. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Peace.